Good morning. You find me sat in the greenhouse. I'm pontificating the oak trees. My favourite things that I've grown, probably because they've been the most successful. I think that tells you a lot about a person, doesn't it? I think in life you tend to enjoy the things you're good at because they're successful. It's perhaps the people who keep going at the things that they're not good at that are the stronger people. Anyway, my oak trees, I'm arising out of my chair by the way, are very good in the main. One of them, alas I think, actually I've just spotted, might be dead. It has got no leaves on it, whereas all the others have leaves now, and quite a lot. Answers on a postcard if you know if I should be trying to sort of shape these trees at this stage. They're about a foot tall and quite bushy at the bottom. Should I be pinching out leaves at the bottom to try and make them grow taller? I don't know. I'll have to Google it or email me if you know. bobs.garden@bobs.garden. The dot is just a dot, like a full stop, but not on Instagram. It's the word dot, D-O-T. That's because the internet. Planted lots of things yesterday, everything from lettuce to dahlias and echinacea. Love an echinacea. Also planted 3 different types of tomato, a cherry, one called Moneymaker, and naturally I planted Gardener's Delight. Now, I planted them in 2 places. I've got one set in seed trays and I've got another sown directly into compost bags, but with the help of these little round tomato planter things. They've got they're made out of plastic, they're green, they're circular, about a foot in diameter, and they've got a serrated bottom and a hole through them, and you jab them into the bag, it cuts a perfect hole in the bag, and then you plant your seeds in the middle of this sort of circular container thing, plonk some more compost on top, and then you can water the plants in an extra ring on the outside of them, through an extra ring that's got holes in them. So you just sow them straight into the bag, you don't get the compost out of the bag, and you should have lots of tomatoes. So yeah, I'll put a picture of that on Instagram, which is bobs.garden, all one word, bobsdotgarden. You could probably spell garden, didn't need to tell you that. So cherries, Gardener's Delight and Moneymaker. So we'll see what happens. I also would like to get, but they didn't have any in the shop yesterday, some of those stripy tomatoes. I'm sure they're called Tiger something, but they look great. I could do with some of those green stripy ones and the some orange ones. So I will be looking out for them. Some seeds, I'll have to go online probably to get them. You can tell it's 9:30 and not 5:30 in the morning, because there's the clatter of a JCB alongside the beautiful tweetings of the songbirds. The builders have become noisy again because they're demolishing a final building that they'd previously left up. That noise isn't a builder, that's me poking my head outside the greenhouse to see where I've put my coffee. There it is, it's in the greenhouse, of course it is. Hashtag drink watch, coffee in a purple mug this morning. Right, let's get out. jobs coming up today and tomorrow. I need to order some bits. I need some chicken wire and a few smallish fence posts, because I need to fence off the growing area now from the chickens. I'm hoping we'll be able to let the chickens out soon, and I don't want them rummaging through anything they shouldn't and digging up the crops. So I need to put a fence up. I also need to get the cold frames ready, because they're a little bit overgrown with weeds and things, because I want the beetroot and some other stuff to go out really in a cold frame. It will be too hot for it in the greenhouse. It's in there at the moment, just until I start to see a couple of shoots maybe, but as soon as possible I'll be getting the beetroot and I think the peas out in the cold frame, where it's not quite as hot and the temperature difference isn't quite as stark between day and night. And I need to weed the beds and get the beds ready for planting out. And on top of that, I need to make them pest proof from flying bugs and things, so I need to knock some frames up. So I need to order the wood for that. So I need some roofing battens for the frame. I need some right size screws that's not going to split the battens. Fence post chicken wire, so I can order that today. And I can do the weeding and that tomorrow morning. A lot of the land which was turned over is now back to sort of meadow grass. And I have been mowing it. It's one of my favourite things to do, is mow patterns into the lawn on the other side of the house. But I've begun to do that on this side too, on the allotment. So around the beds it's all completely clear, very close cut grass, so that it doesn't interfere and start growing into the beds. And then in other parts where I'm able to, I've let it go wild. So we've got grasses now that are sort of 6 to 8 inches, a foot in places tall. And yeah, that's what we will be doing, leaving it to grow wild, trimming around the base of the trees, I think. It looks fantastic, the blossom on some of these trees at the moment, I will say. I think it's going to be a great year for apples, looking at the blossom we've got. And you can really tell the difference between the apples and the plums. So we've got, from left to right, plum, apple, plum, plum, apple, 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 plum, apple, plum, plum, apple. So that's how many apples? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apple trees, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plum trees. So there's 12. Also 2 walnut trees. I never see a walnut off them because the squirrels are very used to eating them before we get to see anything. But occasionally you can get a walnut. So it looks like it's going to be a good year, I have to say, and I'm hoping no more frosts, because I'm about ready to wrap my tropical palm. So we'll see how that goes. Perhaps I'll put that on Instagram. So lots to do. Got to keep on top of the watering and looking after the seedlings. That's the main job this week. I feel I must go now, because the drone of the JCB is starting to intrude on me. Until tomorrow.